Most of us think burnout recovery starts with doing something, taking a break, fixing our routine, getting disciplined again. But research and real life both shows that burnout recovery does not begin with action. It begins with recognition. The first and most important step is realizing that the signs our body and mind are showing are not something to ignore. They are not random and they are not a personal failure. When burnout starts showing up in the body, it means the system has already been under strain for a long time. Fatigue that does not resolve with sleep, emotional numbness, irritability, brain fog, a sense that everything takes more effort than it used to. These are not small signals, they are early warning signs. This is where many of us go wrong. Instead of pausing to understand what is happening, we assume something is wrong with us. We start trying to fix ourselves. We add more discipline. We tighten our routines. We wake up earlier. We eat more strictly. We question whether we are eating enough protein or whether our magnesium is low. We look for something we can optimize because optimizing feels safer than accepting what's actually happening. But when early burnout signs appear, the system is already depleted. Adding more rules and pressure does not help a depleted system. It usually makes it worse. Research shows that burnout is not caused by a lack of motivation or resilience. It is caused by prolonged exposure to stress without adequate recovery. That stress might come from work, caregiving, emotional load, responsibility, or constant pressure to perform. When the load continues and recovery doesn't match it, the body adapts by staying in survival mode. At that point, simple rest or a short getaway often doesn't fix the problem. It's because rest alone does not change the conditions that created the burnout. This is why bouncing back is the wrong goal. Bouncing back assumes we can return to the same pace, the same pressure, the same expectations, just with more effort. Stabilizing is different. Stabilizing means helping the system stop deteriorating further. One of the hardest parts of burnout recovery is convincing ourselves that what we are experiencing is real. That this is not just a tiredness, not just a bad week, not just a mindset issue. We don't want to accept it because life is still busy. We still have responsibilities. We still need money. We still have ambitions. Slowing down feels dangerous. It feels like falling behind. It feels like giving something up. But ignoring the signs is actually riskier. Research consistently shows that pushing through early burnout signs increases the likelihood of deeper burnout and longer recovery time, more severe emotional symptoms later on. The body keeps score. If the signals are ignored, they don't disappear, they get louder. This is why the first step in recovery is not fixing or improving anything, it is understanding what is happening in the body and mind. Understanding that these responses make sense given the load that we've been carrying. Burnout is not a sudden collapse. It's a gradual wearing down of the system. By the time the body starts signaling, we are already in a sensitive phase. This is what makes it dangerous territory. Not because something terribly will happen overnight, but because continuing to override the signals can deepen the damage. Another important part of this stage is letting go of that self-blame. When we interpret burnout as laziness or weakness, we add shame on top of exhaustion. Shame increases stress. Stress prolongs burnout. This cycle keeps people stuck. When we can say, this makes sense given what I've been living with, the nervous system softens slightly. That softening matters. It creates the conditions for stabilization. Stabilization does not mean quitting everything or stepping away from life. It means stopping the internal fight. It means acknowledging that something needs attention before more pressure is added. It means allowing ourselves time to understand the state we are in instead of rushing to fix it. Research also shows that burnout recovery is slower when people rush into solutions without understanding their limits. People try to rebuild productivity before capacity returns. They mistake compliance for recovery. They look functional on the outside while feeling empty and exhausted on the inside. Stabilization is about preventing further harm. It is about reducing load where possible, lowering internal pressure, and allowing the system to stop running on emergency mode. This stage often feels uncomfortable because it asks us to pause, not push. And pausing is hard when we've been rewarding our whole life for pushing. But recognizing burnout early and taking it seriously is not a weakness. It is a skill. It's awareness. It is self-respect. Burnout recovery is not about bouncing back to who you were before. It is about meeting ourselves where we are now and responding with care instead of criticism. I'm Nimi. If this video helped you in any way, please like, subscribe, and share it with anyone you think might benefit. On this channel, we have compassionate, evidence-based conversation about burnout, recovery, and well-being. I will see you in the next video.